Alright guys, so this video is just gonna be an update on Bitcoin and Ethereum for now. Um I also I was talking to my friend of mine and I was telling him how this last week of November is gonna be crazy because not only are we getting our normal data that we get, but we're also getting release data from some months from before. So we could definitely have another little dip or another just on the fact that we're getting old data, and that makes me wonder if the data that they're releasing to us, that old data, if they've seen it before or if they've seen it before being released, so they somewhat know what to expect the market or how the market is going to expect from it, or the bots or whatnot. um and then also it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. For some reason I forgot that Thursday and Friday is gonna be closed. So the fact that it's gonna be a short week and mixed with old and new data, yeesh. And you have all these stocks pretty much hanging, pretty much like the Lion King when Simba's hanging on that cliff and Mufasa comes and that's pretty much how the stock market looks right now, including Bitcoin itself, crypto itself. On my old videos or yesterday's or earlier, I think I did it earlier, right? I mentioned how we have a three candle box forming on the 12-hour candle time frame here. As you can see, I'm gonna take my indicator off. It went down. This one gave you your support. This one give you the resistance. You box it up. You used to wait to see how the third one plays out. It closed inside. After that, you pay attention to the fourth one. And you see, it was still inside. This is good, but this ain't really shit. What you really want, let's see this shit. Let me see. We have resistance. So we have resistance right here in 2-hour time frame. It's telling me we have some resistance here, and it's 6 o'clock. We close a forward candle at 9. We close a forward candle at 9. So if we have this upward crypto movement, like I normally tend to say that we need to have, and not that we need to, but if the market from Friday, Saturday creeps on up slowly, it's telling you that the market is not happy, but it's feeling, has some sort of hopes or whatnot. If we just keep getting rejected and keep getting stuck here, and especially let's say by 3 in the morning, we have a sharp drop and come back down here, then that means fucking that we're scared or something happened with the market. But I believe we end up getting some couple of good news over the weekend. I think on Twitter I saw that a Federal Reserve or somebody, a Fed member, mentioned how interest rates could happen this December due to policies and all this shit and that, which then made the percentage of the percentage of Federal Reserve cutting interest rate from 30 to 70% supposedly. I haven't seen other videos and other tweets, other reposts. Let me check the market right now. Well, not the market, but let me check Twitter. Pretty much Twitter is like your market. It tells you how the market. Twitter is like where you see how people are feeling at this moment. Pretty much, Tom Lee still says that Ethereum will hit 7,000 by the end of the year, and that's what I'm telling the homie, that either the market is gonna start stabilizing by the end of this week, or if not, in the next 3 weeks. In the next 3 weeks, the market is gonna stabilize. We're either gonna get print dollars or stimulus checks, something that they're gonna tweet that's gonna make the market be like, "Oh shit," and the market's gonna recover, and we'll see now. Ethereum going from where it's at right now in the 2,000 to 7,000, that means that S&P 500 is gonna fucking blow up like crazy. If it's right now in the 6,000, let me see. Yeah, in the 6,000, almost seven. Um, we could hit fucking possibly 7,500 or even 8,000 by the end of the year. If Ethereum's gonna go up that high, so that means Bitcoin's gonna go above probably like your 150. So yeah, so that means the S&P is gonna go flying. So all these stocks that fucking seem they're gonna go down, it's like this is your fucking time, yo. When everybody's screaming, when everybody's panicking, when everybody's on recession, these are the times. Cause guess what? These are the time where they step in and say, "All right, come down. Time to print money." And the market blast off. Whatever excuse they use, they gotta print money and this is snap, but they're not gonna fucking let the fucking market go down to recession, especially who's in charge. You think that ego of his is gonna be like, yeah, let's let's crash the market so I can brag about how ugly the economy is doing. No, that man isn't gonna let that happen. So within 3 weeks, the market's gonna stabilize and start going back up again. And if we do them by the end, because you also gotta remember we have the government's only open till I think January some bullshit, some January something. Once that date comes, again, it's gonna be another. Are they gonna pass the bill on time? Are they gonna bullshit again? And not just that, January, starting January, the thing is the first week or the second week, you start earnings. I think second week is the banks. They started with the banks. Then you start coming up with, your Microsoft and this is that and whatnot. So if we do have a crash, let's say it's still crashing the first 2 weeks of December, earnings is gonna come up. The Federal Reserve is gonna come up. So all that anticipation, all that, are they gonna do it? How earnings gonna be? Is gonna move the market up, especially if they step in and print and or say, "Hey, we got you. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna do this and that," and the market's gonna all this good news bullshit. The market's then gonna have a take a air. Oh, you guys, I thought we were gonna fucking sink. Oh my gosh, that was close, you guys. I thought we gonna. That's how the market's gonna be. That's how I believe. That's how I believe the market's gonna do. That's why the more it crashes, keep fucking crashing, cause this baby's gonna blow up. If the S&P blows up, which it will, it's gonna go up back again. Crypto is gonna go back again. Bitcoin and Ethereum are synchronized with the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq, either way, but they're synchronized. Cause think about it, look at the news. How many corporations, banks are buying, integrating with crypto? Um, fuck. So many of them are buying by crypto, meaning your good ones, your XRP, your Ethereum, your um, H bar, all these tokens. What do you call it? What's his fucking name? Watch. BlackRock. Black Rock, Bitcoin, crypto. There you go.
BlackRock had an investment in FTX.
$24 million in a fund of funds.
$24 million.
Yeah, it was in a it was not in the core part of our business.
Okay, so what do you think happened there? And then
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities.
But Larry Fink states that BlackRock is still in crypto for the tech despite the FTX scandal. And it reminds me of the famous meme.
So this was a couple weeks ago too, and then he recently also went. It was either the same one. Let me see.
For XR.
Cash, and we have the largest cash money market fund that's tokenized called BITL. All assets from real estate
Right there.
to active publics, privates, and then we overlay investment technology and now digital. we're the firm that more and more people are going to worldwide.
What do you mean by digital?
I do believe we're just at the beginning of the tokenization of all assets, from real estate
Yep.
to equities to bonds across the board.
It's very loud
It
here.
is very loud,
But it's good.
All right. And that was a month ago. So while it's crashing right now, the dummies, they're selling all their shit. Whether it be their stocks, their Palantir, their Nvidia, because the AI bubble, because that's it, it's over. Recession. Meanwhile, you have all these banks, JP Morgan announcing just weeks, these same weeks, the same month that they will release, talking about how they're working out with Bitcoin. And so, anyways, I need to get back to this. Take this shit off. So we got this next week, 3 days with mixed data. And if you look at the stocks weekly wise, actually let's go days. S&P closed in an ugly ass fucking area. God damn. But again, that's a sweet area right there. Look, let's go to United Healthcare is forming an interesting move. I know this was about Bitcoin, Ethereum, but might as well just go on a few of them. If you look at the 3 monthly, there's a 3 candle box, a beautiful set of 3 candle box. Here's one, but it's not as beautiful, and you can see how they play out. Here's another one. Here's another beautiful 3 candle box. You can see how they play out. They don't always go that fucking crazy, but that's how they normally go up when they're going up. When they're going down, this is how they look, and they end up fucking going down. Again, not that low, but this is where you want to go on your entry for options. So the fact that we're coming, this is a 3 monthly, so this means this ends in December. The fact that we're on the bottom, the fact that these next 2 weeks or 3 weeks could be the bottom for the S&P and crypto, and then we could start pumping on up towards maybe the 3rd week of December or the 2nd, because this man isn't gonna fucking, unless he wants to look bad, especially during your Thanksgiving, and especially if you mess up your Thanksgiving, you also, because everybody was expecting November to fly. This is what everybody expecting November to fly. So having these horrible months, it's like, oh no, is it gonna keep going down? These are the times when they fucking pull that reverse card, that Uno card, and like, what the fuck? You put a reverse Uno on me? Oh, you motherfucker! Sorry for cussing people. Not just that. So when you put the Fibonacci with this, baby, if you go to the monthly, the 50 Fibonacci for the monthly is right there, and it's right underneath. So let me see if it's gonna make sense. No, it's not gonna make sense to you guys. So anyways, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mark it up with alarm, since I can't put my lines because you guys are gonna get confused as fuck. Alright, so now we know where the resistance and the support is at. And keep noticing how these last 9 months, every time they have gone down. The first 3 months close here. All right, cool. That's the first one. The fact that the second one broke down and still ended up getting bought all the way up and closed here, very bullish. So that's 6 months right there. Now the fact that the third month had all this time, had 3 months to test these waters, and actually was down below at a certain price, and currently in the last week of November holding above that. What I'm saying is this could be your fucking bottom for United Healthcare. And if the market recovers before December's close, this could be your sweet spot to fucking do a call on United Healthcare. Or again, if we do keep with this bullshit of releasing data here and just messing up with everything, this also could, and especially if by where we close on November, if we close November inside of the box, how high, how low, if we actually broke this support that hasn't been broken in 6 months or more than 6 months, if it finally breaks it, also where the S&P closed, and if it closed, how did the market close? Um, and then also what's happening next week, starting the first week of December. What data we're coming up with there? Are there any Fed meetings? Are there any? That's also what we also gotta look forward to. Regardless, this is a sweet three candle box for. Anyways, all right. Go to the monthly. You have your 50 Fibonacci right here too. So that's why I'm also saying it's very important how this month closed. If this month closes not just inside of the box, which is in here, but closes above the monthly 50 Fibonacci, that's bullish because this is what you normally get when you break a 50 Fibonacci of any candle, but especially the higher you go on the candle time frame, the stronger that 50 Fibonacci is. So the fact that you broke and you close above it, and then after that you even test it and you close above it, my guy, get ready for make some money and shit. You do some fucking calls on that bitch and you make some stupid ass fucking money. So we're here again on the last month, oh not the last month, but on the last week of this month. Also, this coming up month is the last month of this three candle time frame. Oh my god, so this is gonna be fucking sweet. That's why I'm gonna keep track of this bitch. That's why I'm gonna keep track of this bitch. Cause it's either oversold and it's gonna be your sweet spot to go for a nice buy, or the market's gonna tank and fear, and this baby is gonna close below that 3 monthly area. And again, you just pay attention to because again, oh my god, anyway, that's too much with that. Too much with that one. Now let's take a look at Nvidia. Just to show you guys how these stocks close. They close horrible. So even though Nvidia came with good earnings, look where it closed. And even though the S&P closed happy and went up and closed, look at the S&P 500. So this little shit right here, when you look at the whole fucking picture, my bad for cutting you guys. When you look at the whole picture, that ain't shit. That ain't shit. And look where we close. We close by a strong resistance area / support. If you're coming from the top, it acts like support. If you're coming from the bottom, that same support acts like a resistance. The fact that we broke through that and closed right underneath it, it's like, oh, yo, any little bad news this next week, we're gonna go back down here again. And the markets are showing you that because of, even though, like I said, S&P closed like that, check out Meta. Meta didn't close shit. That's horrible. You still, especially let me see, we are, yeah, we close horrible. That's nasty. That's nasty. That market's Amazon. Look at Amazon. Amazon is scared. Weekly. Yeah, any little, it's hanging on a support right here. So any bad news this next week is gonna drop this baby too. Let me see my indicator, which tells me where the support is at. You see, it's hanging by a support right here. So any fucking bad news next week is gonna break this cushion support, and then we're gonna go down here, down more. We're gonna start falling, and my indicator should be telling my indicator should be telling us right now. This is your entry, and these are your targets if we maintain this price, this range right here, and especially in the small time frames. Watch. 8-hour candle, 4-hour candle. Watch till get to your 1-hour candle, your entry, your stop loss. So all this, let me go back to your to a forward candle. Tesla, Google. Google actually fucking closed good, didn't take it in. That's why I'm like, wait, what's up with Google? Google's holding strong. I think that was the only one. And Apple, Google and Apple. Everybody else, they closed horrible. And just because Google and Apple closed fucking good doesn't mean shit. That means like even with tomorrow's not tomorrow's data with next week data, it can still push it on down. And just because Google and Apple are doing good doesn't mean the economy is gonna go back up or um. And I don't believe the AI bubble is over because again, you gotta think about it. Just like with Bitcoin, they doing so many regulations, so many bills, so many banks are now doing all this shit. And just because it's down now, and when it went down below so and so, that's over with it. It's gonna they're just gonna sell all their stocks, and that's it. So it's like the AI bubble. How many data centers? How many and then when you think of all the softwares that are gonna be able to run all the new technology, all the new um, robots. There's so much built already that they're just gonna. It's like when the .com bubble came out. Think about it, you guys. The .com bubble came out. All right, the internet came out, and all these websites were saying we're gonna be the next website. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Right, and you didn't know which stock to buy, so you're buying on this one. You're buying on that one. We get the crash, and then what happens? Some of them survive. You get your Amazons. You start getting all these companies actually making something of their pages and making something of the internet. Besides that, the softwares, the the actual products were getting better. The screens, the chips. You would start getting all these what do you call that shit? The Intel whatever bullshit, and people was like, "Oh, I got the new Intel, so and so, whatnot." So, the devices, the technology was improving, and then the .com bubble that supposedly died evolved and actually made something from it because there was already material built for it. It's just you needed your what that fucking Apple guy. You needed that Apple guy. You needed all these people to actually start messing with these fucking technology and making something of it. Same with AI. They already fucking built too many platforms, too many softwares, too many things that just because all these fuckers are jerking each other off with the money and circling the money around, based on that, they're saying, well, that's it, you guys. This money is fake. There's nothing going on it. All these products, all these databases, it's over. Yeah, it popped. The air bubble popped, and everybody sell their stocks. No, you guys, they're gonna fucking again. People are gonna step up. Companies gonna step up and use that software, use that data, all that shit. You got Palantir. They're gonna keep on going, keep on. Trust me, you guys. Trust me on this shit. This is just another strategy of them saying, "Hey, this is it. Sell your shit. The market's over. We're in recession. Yep, the market's down." They're not gonna let that shit happen. They're gonna step in and print that money, baby. Sorry, so let's now go to Bitcoin Ethereum. Another thing that I noticed from Bitcoin Ethereum was this indicator right here that I use. And I use the same shit that I use for my graphs. Lines. Lines and boxes. Why? Because this in a way is mimicking you, telling you the graph. It's showing you the graph. It gives you actual main resistance areas, trend lines. This trend line right here could have told you, and then this resistance here could have told you, hey, we're actually gonna continue going on down. And let me show you what I mean by that. Here, in the daily time frame, we have a downtrend. When the market dumped and we're rallying up and going up again on Bitcoin in this area, you would have said, if you would have seen this, you would have said, holy shit, well, the market is pumping, we're going on up. But in reality, it was telling you, it was like, nah, buddy, we didn't break the trend line. We didn't break the trend line, and on top of that, we're hitting this resistance right here, and we're going back down beneath that resistance, rejecting this resistance right here that you see right here, and then we didn't break that trend line. So if you would have gone and seen that, I marked it down with the orange. Orange is a daily, so I'll get out of here. Go back in here, take this indicator out, and this one. And you see how that orange is right here? And at that time, Bitcoin was peaking. It was making new all-time highs. We're gonna blast off because we just created a new all-time high. But guess what? My buddy was here. Was telling me, oh, yo, this is a fake. This is a fake. We're gonna go back down. We're gonna keep crashing. And what happened? We ended up going back down, and the market ended up going down, crashing. And you would have made stupid dinero day trading. So that was the way this indicator was helping me, or how I use this indicator. And with all those lines, again, I did that myself. This is not a strategy that I copy somebody or somebody used. You don't use these indicators that way. I just use them as that's my shit. I graph them up. I put boxes of them because I can, in a way, synchronize where what it means on this right here. If you put them, if you could put them on each other, you would see how, holy shit, when this goes up here, this went down, but then you go up here again. So this represents. So, anyways, somehow my fucking weird ass brain starts getting all these things together and whatnot. Another indicator I use is this right here. You're supposed to put a line. I know I can't see the graphs. Like what the fuck? Yeah, okay, cool. So right here on this indicator, you're supposed, or the way I use it is, you put a line where the 20 is, and what you want to look for, wait for, is these night tight spot, like right here. When your volume starts going low and starts breaking, let me delete all this shit right here. All right. So what you normally do is you go to the 20. And then what you want is you want your volume to go to squeeze below this 20 right here. You also want your down, this is your down movement, to go get all of them get squeezed here, your blue and your orange. So the blue and the orange represents down. So once this line, these lines start passing this 20 line right here that you see, which I'm gonna mark it white. Once it starts pushing on up, that's telling me that's the move that's happening right now. Once you start seeing the blue, which is the up movement, going down, it's telling me that there's, there's no, the up movement is going down, but the volume is weak still. So, anyways, what you want all of them to get squeezed, because when they get squeezed, that's when you get a big explosion. Whether it be the up movement, that's where you see the blue going up, and you see the volume going up, and you see down going down because there's no down movement happening. At the moment, what's dominating is the upper movement. That's why That's why the 20 line is important. It shows you what's dominating, what's the actual move happening right now, or if there's a move about to burst. That's why you see another one over here. They all squeeze. It's like a rubber band. You pull the rubber band, and then finally it snaps and it goes flying. You see another upward movement, and then that's what you're seeing right here. So every time you see these three lines squeeze below that 20, that's telling you that the big fucking move happening. Let me go down. And they don't happen all the time, but when they do, that's when you really pay attention to them, because you know there's a big move happening. Another big move happening. There's a down pressure right here. And again, a bunch of you guys hopped on here. You gotta remember, you hopped on courses, you hopped on YouTube channel, you hopped on this is the way you read this, this is the way of a support, and this is how you use this indicator, whatnot. A bunch of you guys, no offense, but it's like school. A whole You guys went to school. How do we see school nowadays? We see school as a bullshit, right? Because they teach you and give you whatever they want you to learn. They So all you guys just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. You read the same history book, you read the same. So all you guys have the same mindset when it comes to how to read the market, how to read this indicator. Because my teacher told me this way, I got an A+, and I got it right. So my teacher the best, Mr. Johnson. Also, that's how you guys, all these courses, all these influencers, that's how they got you guys. Well, my guy, Mr. So and so, he taught me this strategy and it works for him and whatnot. So that's how you also gotta think about this shit. A bunch of you guys just hop. This whole graph reading and whatnot is something that happened in barely in 2015, 16. And then crypto is new to you guys, even to a bunch of all these old heads or whatnot, that they know how to read the market their own way. This how I got rich from graphing and this and that. And all you guys don't know even shit know about the market, don't know shit about stocks or crypto. I'm not saying I know everything about this, but you are so brainwashed onto thinking how to read the market or how the market works or why Bitcoin went up or why the S&P went down, that you're never gonna really get to learn by yourself, really get to. That's why a bunch of these people that get into this market lose money, whether it be in options, whether it be in trading, whether it be in long term, because they don't know the cycles, they don't know the how crypto is synchronizing into the new market, how the S&P and crypto are synchronized. So, anyways, instead of me just mambling on, let me just go back to talking about this shit. So that's how I use these both of these indicators or whatnot. And for Bitcoin and Ethereum, all I'm waiting for is to see is how we act. Let me get my shit back on. So what I'm waiting for Bitcoin is to see how we end up closing at 1 in the morning, and then also how we're looking at 9 in the morning, because if we see this gradual rally with Bitcoin or whatnot, it just tell me that the market either heard something good, or the market is expecting something positive in the market. But if we just keep getting rejected and you start seeing Bitcoin and Ethereum, especially towards like your 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock tomorrow, going back in this area right here again, it's telling you that the market is just really scared and neutral as fuck. But besides that, you guys, there's nothing really else to say or whatnot. Yeah, you can see how they're all breaking. And even XRP was in that 3 candle box. Ethereum, Bitcoin. So again, it's really important to see how we're looking tomorrow around your 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. And again, we could have another crash tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, but we could have another crash, light crash for the S&P 500 this week. Or this could be stabilizing this next 3 weeks, and the market could be rallying up pretty soon. Oh, one last thing that these indicators told me about crash was coming for Bitcoin. If you go on the right here. If you go on the weekly, you can see that this indicator created a head and shoulders. You have your first shoulder, your head, and your lower shoulder. And if you look at that time, and I marked them up with these lines, the blue ones, because the weekly, if you go to them, You will see that every time where they were on, they would peak and then fall. Watch. So I'm gonna go on the daily. So right here, it will peak, it will go down, peak, it will go down, peak. We had a peak right here, and then we went down, and then this was the daily fake out. If we go to the daily, that's where we are right now. That was a fake out that I was talking to about. That my indicator told me, hey, this is not a real move. This is a fake move. We're actually gonna start going, keep going down, and that's when the real move then happened. So even though it didn't create a head and shoulders here, my indicator was telling me, was actually telling me, hey, in the weekly, it was telling me, hey, buddy, get ready to go down or whatnot. And then also in the daily, again, that trend line going down, that getting rejected in this area right here, all this was signaling me, if you put it together, that the market was going to start going down based on all these indicators, all these different time frames, and along also based on the data that came out that day with the S&P 500, which was an easy ass fucking 3 weeks of making money in the S&P 500 in crypto. Like the in my last 4 videos, I called what was gonna happen to the market. I explained how Bitcoin and Ethereum were warning you that we're gonna start going down. I explained how even though Nvidia had good news, we could still get bad news the next day and keep crashing back down, and that's what happened. So a bunch of you just hopping in here and having with the comments, but I know you guys are confused. What is the guy talking about? But just go watch my videos. Go watch my last 4 videos, and you understand that okay, this guy has is something on something. Even though he's kind of weird because it doesn't really make sense. He's talking really quick, or he has a whole bunch of drawings going on. I saw his videos, and he actually was making sense, and he did have good calls. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. I talked for a long ass time already. Let me see. Broke white high. Clicks not better. What are you doing? Going over the market, bro. I normally go over the S&P 500, Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, silver, Palantir, XRP, but the main ones is Ethereum, Bitcoin, gold, silver, and the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is my baby. And I'm gonna start posting calls for Robinhood. I'm gonna start showing you my gains. That way, I'm not just another guy just talking here, talking shit. And also, I don't work no more, so I'm gonna be doing more live streams on and talking, giving calls while the market is still active, and not just these videos before and after the market. Monkey Times, what's up, man? How are you doing? I'm doing good, bro. Appreciate it. Uh, like, what the fuck? Okay, cool. What the fuck? I'm doing good. Appreciate it, bro. Do you know that who gives a fuck about that? Can you sell old crypto wallets through who fucking knows? Another fucking bot. Do you another fucking bot? Alright, you guys. Anyways, there's Brian Seacrest, and I'll fucking probably do an update tomorrow in the morning, probably at 6 in the morning or by 9 in the morning Arizona time, people. So this is Brian Seacrest signing out.